What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Before we start, I just want to thank the channel's Patreon and Subscribe Star supporters, along with everyone who has donated via PayPal and the Super Chats. The support has been unbelievable, with the channel having over 5 million views in its first 3 months, so thank you all just for watching my videos. Now we are going to look at the Nick Ferrari interview with the Shadow Health Secretary John Ashworth, talking about the Remoaners' futile attempts to stop a no-deal Brexit. This discussion stems from a newspaper article where Boris Johnson's chief strategist Dominic Cummings rightly pointed out that these Remoaners in Parliament can't stop a no-deal Brexit now. Because of course, a vote of no confidence would not even stop a no-deal Brexit, since any elections called from the vote of no confidence likely won't be until after the 31st of October, when we have already left the EU. We have to remember that no deal is the legal default. The Remoaner Dominic Grieves also weighed into this debate in a newspaper article, but we will go over the ridiculously of that after. First, let's check out the LBC clip.
Question by Dominic Cummings, who of course was the Vote Leave strategist who's working closely with Boris Johnson in power, that effectively a no deal cannot be stopped. Do you agree?
No, I mean, that's a bit of spin. I mean, this guy is Boris Johnson's top spin doctor, and he's just trying to sort of spin because he's obviously very worried about MPs, Tory MPs on his own side, voting in the House of Commons to block no deal. So it's a bit of the the spin that goes on in politics coming from him there. So,
but how would you stop it then?
Well, I mean, we have to find a way of voting to stop it when the House of Commons returns in September. We know there are plenty of Tory MPs who want to stop no deal. All these Tory MPs like Philip Hammond, who Boris Johnson perhaps foolishly sacked from the cabinet, they don't want a no deal Brexit. So look, we're going to be working on cross-party lines to try and block a no deal when the House of Commons returns in a few weeks.
But surely when Mr Cummings is quoted as saying they don't realise, if there's a no confidence vote in September or October, we'll call an election for after the 31st and we'll leave anyway, he's right.
No, he's playing a game. He's just trying to.
Tell me why that's not right then.
He's just trying to spin to sort of frighten the horses on his own side.
Why is that not right?
Because there are different mechanisms. There will be different mechanisms that we can take advantage of when the House of Commons returns to try and block no deal. It's not necessarily
such as what?
just about. It's not necessarily just about a vote of no confidence. There'll be other opportunities to amend legislation coming before the House of Commons, and that's what we'll be working on. We're not ruling anything in or anything out. We're looking at all. We're looking at all.
Right,
the
would
options.
you petition the Queen?
No, I mean, we don't think we should be dragging the monarchy into the political process in that respect.
So would there be an emergency motion?
It could be something of that nature, yeah.
But how would you get that through?
Because any legislation that comes before the House of Commons can be amended.
But it's not legally binding.
And we all looked, if House of Commons...
Respectfully about it, it is not legally binding. So Mr Johnson, were he so minded, could say, well, thank you very much, I'm going to ignore it.
So if it's not binding, why is Mr Cummings so anxious to get the message out there that no deal can't be stopped? Why is he briefing
You'd have
newspapers?
to ask Mr Cummings.
Well, indeed, because it's a game of political brinkmanship, isn't it? He's playing a game.
And lastly, when Dominic Grieves says, and goodness knows how he says, you'd even set up a separate government, would you agree setting up a new government in its place, having brought down... Are you supporting that?
No, I really want a Labour government. I don't want some Dominic Grieves government. I want a Labour government.
I mean presumably it may be some sort of...
But he's a Conservative at the end of the day.
Right. It may be some sort of coalition.
No, we want a Labour government. I don't believe there'll be a coalition government. We want a Labour government.
Well, the Labour MP, when asked if what Dominic Cummings said is true, calls it a bit of spin from Boris Johnson's spin doctor. But actually, there has been a lot of people discussing the fact that if Boris Johnson really wants to leave on a no-deal Brexit, there's nothing they can do about it. Johnathan Ashworth thinks the Boris camp is worried that MPs will stop no deal, when I do not think that is the case. I'm still fairly certain Boris wants to get a deal, but is prepared to leave the EU on no deal if required. If the no confidence vote succeeds, then a general election will have to be fought on the basis that Parliament is against the will of the British people, which will get many people on his side. Everyone knows Parliament is trying to ignore democracy with the help of the mainstream media to block Brexit, and it's not just the worthless spunk trumpet Lib Dems and Labour scumbags doing it either. There is a large group of Tory MPs that are also among these undemocratic fuckpigs who wipe their ass with democracy. There is already talk swirling around that Boris plans to campaign with the people versus the politicians message in the snap general election that might well be called soon. You heard Nick ask, how would these Remoaners stop no deal then? Johnathan said we need to find a way to stop no deal, clearly showing that they have no idea how to stop it because technically they can't, as multiple people have pointed out before now. Nick shoots down this Remoaners bullshit claims because, as I have said previously, if a no confidence vote is called, Boris Johnson won't have to call an election until after the 31st, and we're already gone then. Majid Nawaz even said the same thing on his LBC show a few weeks back that I did a video on. Of course, Johnathan disputes that, calling it spin, before going on to claim the Remoaners will put through motions to block no deal, which Nick rightly points out they would struggle to get through and is not legally binding. So Boris could just say, that's nice, go fuck yourself, which I'm sure he will do. And then that will bring the no confidence vote. Johnathan then asks the ridiculous question that if these motions are not legally binding, why is Boris Johnson's chief strategist so anxious to get the message out that they can't stop no deal? Which Nick did not even really bother to answer, so I will answer it for him. I expect the reason he has come out saying this is because the mainstream media has Remoaner MPs on daily spouting Project Fear nonsense, which hurts the country's economy. They have to counter this shit, obviously. We then hear Nick ask Johnson about Dominic Grieves' claim he will set up another government, which we all know is ridiculous. I'm hoping he's about to lose the Tory party whip ready for the next general election, as he's a traitor to this country like Rory the Soy Boy Stuart and Philip Hammond. I really can't see how the Tory party can allow them to even run for the Conservative Party ever again. They are openly rebelling against the second Tory Prime Minister in a row, along with threatening to bring down a Conservative government. They have to be kicked to the curb. Of course, a Labour MP does not want a Dominic Grieve government, he wants a Labour government, which we might end up with if the Brexit Party and Tory Party don't work out a way to strategically work together like the Remain parties have already started doing. Of course, if the Brexiteer parties work together and position candidates tactically, then there is no chance for a Labour or Lib Dem victory. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, that final question was being asked because Dominic Grieve has told the media Remoaners can bring down the government and start a new government, which, as I've already said, is ridiculous. Boris Johnson has just been overwhelmingly supported by the Tory party, so the MPs in Parliament are backing him more than they are not. We already know this. It's being reported in the media that when Downing Street officials told Dominic Cummings of Grieves' idea that Boris Johnson will have to resign, he spat out his drink laughing, claiming the idea that Boris will hand over to a new government rather than leave with an election after October 31st is laughable. If there is a vote of no confidence in the government, Boris will still be the leader of the Tory party, and you would expect people like Dominic Grieve won't be running for the Conservative Party in the next general election. I would say these Remoaners are pissing in the wind right now, saying whatever they can to try and undermine Boris Johnson because they know they are in the shit when it comes to stopping Brexit. It's getting really pathetic. How this guy thinks he will bring down a Tory government and still be a Tory MP is beyond me. It's common knowledge, you vote against your party in a no confidence vote, you lose the whip, and you won't be able to run for the Conservative Party anymore. I guess the liberal undemocratic shitweasels will take these Remoaning fuckpigs who have nothing but contempt for the democratic rights of the British people. I mean, it's a testament to how fucking stupid these people are that Dominic Grieve is under the illusion he can vote to bring down his own government and run again as a Conservative MP, let alone form another government. I am 99% sure that they would get booted out of the Tory party, and rightly so. Let's be honest, the Tory party removed the whip from 9 MPs in 1993 after failing to support John Major's government in a vote of no confidence. So history is on our side that at the very least, a no confidence vote will signal the end of some of these Remoaning shitweasels within the Tory party. Let's hope they've got some people who support democracy ready to take their place. Well, I'm going to end the video there, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Remember to like, subscribe and share this video as it helps the channel a lot, and I will see you all in the next one.